win you against a top ZVZ player, and Hydra definitely is one of the best ZVZ players in the world.
Yeah.
So I would say that's probably Destiny's worst matchup, to be honest, and it's quite obvious. But Sheth, I think it's his worst matchup as well, but I definitely think he's going to be taking more edges than Destiny is.
Yeah, I mean, also you got to factor in the fact that Sheth probably has a little bit more tournament experience than Destiny.
So of course.
Big matches like this, being in the losers bracket, round 3, being close to actually money here in the tournament, I would kind of put the edge to Sheth. But that being said, Destiny's really played extremely well in the past 2 ZVPs that we've seen. We're just going to have to see how well his ZVZ has kind of changed within the past couple of weeks. But first map is going to be on Antigua Shipyard. ZVZ doesn't really change too much in this matchup on this map because, well, it's a mirror matchup. So
yeah, it's, you know, gold base is going to be hard to take. 3 bases, not that hard. We'll see how it goes, though.
Now, I do apologize if for some reason there's a loud clapping noise. That's me beating the senseless death out of, or beating the fly to death because he's still alive, Ortosis.
You know, I think if you catch him at all, you're not going to have to, like...
Well, the best part is we, like, took this break, right? And I never saw him again. But then I sit down and he just, like, starts buzzing around, man. I'm like, are you serious, Fly?
He knows that you're mic'd in, man. This fly is smart. Maybe this fly did some terrible things in his previous life, and it was reincarnated as a fly, and he's trying to communicate with you.
Well, he's got to die, man. I don't care what he has to say to me, Artosis. I'm not going to try to... Maybe he's giving me Morse code or something with his 2 little hands that always sit there. You know when they land, how they just rub their hands together?
Oh, yeah, that's true. They do that, man. They're, like, thinking deviously about something.
They are. They're always thinking that way. So let's look at the player spawns real quick, or at least state them. We got Liquid Sheth over here as the purple Zerg. He is the higher seeded player here on the left-hand side of the map. But over here on the right-hand side, it's going to be Destiny as the blue Zerg.
Quite true, JP. As far away as they can get from each other, Destiny immediately sending Overlords over in that direction. Sheth scouting to the north, though.
Yeah. And probably, I mean, scouting actually plays a pretty important part when it comes to ZVZ, and especially in the early game, because it will come down to the fact that it's going to be a lot of times Ling Baneling, and that's it. That's as long as it'll last. I think my producer is now hot on the Fly's case. This is actually going to be the better shoutcast here. The Fly's death, not this game, Artosis.
It could be pretty good, JP. I can't quite see this happening, the Fly. I think you're actually just crazy and there is no Fly, but I'll go with it.
Well, I'm not crazy, man. I'm like really upset about this.
I know you are. You black.
Oh god. Okay, so we saw Extractor first for both these players, and what are they going to be going to do, or what are they going to be doing after this? Well, we see 4 Lings for Sheth, and Destiny's going to be making 2 drones with those 2 initial larvae.
Huh. Well, a little bit odd, but you know, Destiny at least getting out his very quick queen. Sheth going to have his speed a lot quicker, as he did get his gas a bit quicker. And I'm sure that we're just going to see some expansions coming up pretty quickly, but Destiny actually getting a Roach Warren right now. This is very much like him. We have seen this before.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back to those matches against Idra, he also got a Baneling nest really. So this is that ladder build that we were talking about that's safe against anything, but really can't do anything with.
It's all right. Let me explain why this is not actually a good build. You are not. I mean, you don't. It's actually it's hard to explain, you know, because a lot of people I think are huge Destiny fans out there, and they're like, no way, he's so good, and he is really good. But this is like a ladder build. This is actually what you do against someone worse than you.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is something that if you do it against someone worse than you, they can't kill you early, and I mean, that's how you play against someone worse than you. You want to, if they're like significantly worse than you, if they can't kill you early, the odds of them killing you late is extremely low. And I mean, that's what this build is going to do. But look at Sheth. He just makes a hatchery right away. Can Destiny go over and kill him right now? Well, if he all-ins, maybe. But he has spent so much more money on these units that he is not even going to get aggressive with, and now he's going to expand. So Sheth right now is already up. Sheth, I mean, he's going to be able to drone more. He has map control with his speedlings. Destiny is safe from everything, but what he's not safe from is Sheth taking big edges in the sector of economy in this game.
You know, kind of thinking about this build, does it seem like Destiny's trying to kind of force the late game in ZVZ to you?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, he's setting up for it. This is not some sort of timing attack or anything. Even though whenever you see a pro gamer do this build, you're like, oh, this is a sick all-in, all right. With Destiny, this is actually just his standard, I want to force a late game and outplay my opponent in that. But, you know, Sheth is one of the greatest macro zergs in the world. It's going to be pretty hard for him to do that.
He gets about half the lings of Sheth right there with one Baneling. He's really defending against all this with only 3 roaches and a handful of lings. And the one Baneling is actually coming out too far. Now the lings of Sheth are going to be able to run in. But there is a a queen available to dispatch these 3 lings pretty easily. But if they get one drone, that's a pretty big loss.
Yeah, I mean, any drone that Sheth can possibly get right now would be nice. Destiny does clean up all those Zerglings, so Sheth's map control goes down the hole a little bit, and excuse me, you can see that Sheth even is a little bit confused. He's like, are you going to attack me? He's already made 2 spine crawlers at home. Yeah. You know, that's something you just kind of have to do. If your opponent has roaches and banelings, you either stop that with a lot of roaches or you stop that with spine crawlers. So Sheth playing very safe in reaction to what is actually Destiny's economy build.
Yep, and there's the lair coming down for Destiny. Sheth, however, not started that just yet. Take a look at the unit counting station. We got 37 drones for Sheth, 30 for Destiny, and obviously that's going to be in favor of Sheth. I mean, the supply pretty even right now. Sheth barely ahead by about 5 supply.
And Sheth running in, picking off a couple drones with those Zerglings, but ooh, a Bane takes out a lot of his lings, and that's going to be a little bit painful.
Yeah, yeah. And lairs now started for both players. We see the +1 ranged going down for Destiny. This was played on the latest patch, but I kind of still think we're going to see Infestors, Artosis.
Yeah, you know, I think that we probably will.
Just kind of a staple.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's look at the drone count right now. We have 50 for Sheth, 37 for Destiny. And this is exactly what I was talking about before. The fact that Destiny makes all these early tech buildings, it really adds up. He's getting no scouting in because he doesn't have speedlings running around. He spent a lot of his early economy and drones making these extra buildings, whereas Sheth just made a hatchery right away and then got his second queen out quicker, got more larvae quicker, made drones quicker, had more money later on to make more drones, and it just kind of spirals out of control when you don't have a really tight early game.
And Hydralistan is going down for Destiny. No Infestor Pit just
Sheth
yet.
as well.
Sheth as well. So is this a game from the beta? Like, what, are we going to see Roach Hydra from both players?
Destiny canceled and threw up an infestation pit now, so that's pretty Destiny-ish of him.
Yeah, I mean, Sheth saw that Hydralistan with an Overlord that snuck in. So maybe that's why he canceled it, but it was at like 99.9% complete, and looks like the third base of Destiny is going to be denied by a couple of lings. Meanwhile, Sheth's is almost finished.
Yeah, and that's, again, that's the superiority of the tech. Having speedlings out, he has map control. He denies that third of Destiny for now, slows it down, and Sheth's third is going to get up. Look at this, a ling run by, even against Banelings. Pretty brave of Sheth, getting caught right there. Nice building placement by Destiny. Really, really tight building placement, and that's going to minimize his losses. Good defense there by Destiny.
And in the meantime, we finally see this hatch started once again at the third base. Has he started? Yes, he actually has started Hydralisk coming out for Sheth. Does he have the Groove Spine? Yeah, it is about to finish here. +1 about to finish as well. And some more lings running by. They might be able to deny this hatchery, but the roaches are right there. I believe they do have roach speed now as well.
Yeah, it looks like those lings will be taken out, but if we look at drone counts right now, Destiny catching up a little bit, but Sheth has that third up before him, so his mining efficiency is better still.
We see Pathogen Gland started about halfway complete there for Destiny, and you know, if he can really connect with the fungal growth and the right after that some banelings onto the Hydralisk, it's really going to favor him in some of these larger scale battles.
Yeah, certainly. Fungal growth is the ultimate weapon against Roach Hydra for sures. And Destiny actually moving down the map right now. He does have his +1 attack. Sheth right now has +1 as well. And whoa, that's a pretty strong committal right there. But Destiny's done some good scouting with his Overseer so far this game. So he knows that there's no Infestors out yet. That was not actually all that dangerous. And it looks like he is starting his Infestor production as well as drops.
And drops, I think, are something that, you know, I mentioned the fact that in the beta it was really all Roach Hydra. Drops actually kind of came into play towards the end of it in this matchup. That was the follow-up that a lot of people were doing. But it looks like, I mean, I'm trying to think where Destiny can really apply those to. Maybe doing some Infestor drops into the main, possibly?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. He does love to drop Infestors behind enemy lines and stuff like that. Might just be some smaller Roach drops. Could be Baneling drops even. You know, there's a lot of different things he could go with it. And
Sheth is actually moving out. Looking at the supply, 150 to 124 going to the unit. Conversation we got. 21 Roaches for Sheth, a total of 18 for Destiny right now. Sheth's still in the lead when it comes to the drone count by just about 5 or 6. But I'm not sure if Sheth wants to engage. And you know, if I think Destiny just saw this, he might be able to move out with these Infestors and these Roaches and pick some of these Hydralisks off with some very easy fungals in the back.
Yeah, I mean, an engagement right now would go Destiny's way. He has enough fungals to kill off a huge chunk of Sheth's army. But Sheth's macro is getting kind of out of control. You know, he's had 67 drones for a while. Destiny is just now catching up. But, you know, getting those drones earlier is just going to give you more money. You know, they're going to have a longer time to drone up and take a lot of minerals. So Sheth's macro is pretty crazy at 190 against 162. And he's going to be able to take some additional bases while he moves out here.
Yep, and how far is he really going to go with this push? That's going to be the important question here. Destiny actually moving out. He will lose, well, looks like Sheth is scared of 2 Roaches. He will kill one of them. He's going to let the other one go back and kind of tell Destiny is trying for this high yield, but it will be spotted by Sheth, and it's obviously going to be denied pretty quickly.
Yeah, Sheth right now is going to have 2-1 finish pretty quickly here. It's another expansion denial, as you said, JP. But I am afraid for him. This is a lot of Infestors by Destiny, and hitting those fungals is going to be devastating. But the damage output of the Hydras is going to be pretty devastating as well. So he can't do something like fungal and engage with his Roaches because Sheth is just going to deal too much damage too quick. He's going to have to stall out with fungals and kill off part of Sheth's army if he wants to actually engage with his Roaches.
We see a huge influx of spine crawlers going down. Sheth actually wants to engage right now. He doesn't want to allow those to get up, and here we go. He really needs to start hitting these fungals. There's a big one on the left side of the army and a big one on the right side of the army. Looking at this fight, I think that Destiny's going to lose it, but he has a huge amount of damage onto those Hydras, and you know, maybe not. He actually might win this fight, Artosis.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It looks like actually Sheth can punch through here, still has Hydras, and they do pretty well against Roaches. But there are some Infestarians, and another Spine Crawler did pop up. More Hydras on the way for Sheth. But there's been actually Infestarians in Sheth's main base. Oh my god, the 4 Infestor drop, dealing a ton of counter damage. Beautiful move by Destiny.
Yeah, and he's actually cleaning up this attack by Sheth. And did he actually snipe any tech buildings with that? He's trying to get the lair, but I don't think it's going to go down. He might have gotten 1 evolution chamber, but I think that's it. But it also really, I think, kept him in the game because all those forces did have to fall back instead of actually go and finish off Destiny's main over there at the choke.
You know, if there had been nothing but Roach rallies coming out of Sheth into Destiny's base, he would have run him over, because when you run out of Infestor energy, there's this weird period where you have all this supply in Infestors that don't really do anything. They just kind of sit there. So that saved him. And it did kill some drones too. So it was a very nice move by Destiny and definitely made the supplies a lot more even. And in fact, Destiny, for the first time, takes the supply lead.
And here comes another attack He has enough energy, I think, to maybe do 5, possibly 6 total fungals with those infestors. Sheth is going to fall back. And Destiny's actually double expanding up here in the north at the 11 and 10 o'clock expansions. Meanwhile, Sheth is just going to kind of one-up that and take the high yield as the Queen's already coming out.
We have another infestor drop in the main base of Sheth, using those like high Templars. Excuse me, that was very well done. Look at that, another tech building being taken out. And wow, these infested Terran drops, man, are really, really nice by Destiny. And in fact, Sheth, he's going to ignore it, and it looks like he may attack the third base of Destiny here, but that is quite a choke. Oh, and no. Fungal Growth going to do a huge amount of damage here.
For both parties, actually, and I think that the bigger concave is going to be going to Sheth, but the fungals are easily accessible there on the low ground from the infestors of Destiny. He needs to be careful, though. Right now, supplies are very, very even. Destiny should win this simply because the forces are going to pop out of that hatchery right next to it. Some forces have been rallied across map, but I think the fly's been taken out. That was what that noise just was, Artosis. Let's celebrate in jubilation.
Wow, congratulations, JP.
I know. It was not me, though. I owe it all to the producer, who's now shaking his head and saying, no, it's not dead, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we do have right now an attack on the gold base of Sheth. He has way too many drones there, JP, though. I mean, that is a lot of drones, and good thing Destiny did not fungal, because Sheth would have gotten a very hurt economy. And another infestor drop behind the natural of Sheth. And these infestor drops are really what is making the difference here.
Yep, they're going to snipe that Queen. They should be able to take out the rest of these roaches. I mean, they do have those 1-2 upgrades. It's kind of ridiculous that infested Terrans get upgrades. They're going to be able to clean up all those roaches and now start to work on these drones, Artosis.
Yeah, this is, I mean, he's doing quite a good job. Destiny looks like he's going to take this game, JP. He's got a ton of bases. He's done a great job with these drops. He's got more supplies max out against 153 of Sheth, and he has spellcasters. So, I mean, this really, really, really looks like Sheth is going to die, which impresses me. I mean, Destiny's, his infestor drops are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they're single-handedly is really what keeping them in the game thus far. Now actually kind of tilted the scale towards him now. Big engagement now in the center. The infestor's actually being caught behind. Here comes the huge trade of fungals. Once again, I think that Destiny's going to be able to take this, though.
Yeah, it looks like it. Just enough fungals are out there right now. A lot of roaches still piling down the ramp. 2-2 upgrades to 2-on and a GG.
Good game. Wow.
Destiny takes game number 1 against Sheth. You know, the entire early game was owned by Sheth. He had a much better early game, a much better economy, and it looked like he was just going to crush Destiny until the infestor drops started happening. And those things did so much damage. You know, that was pretty impressive by Destiny. That one move, he really knows how to pull that off. Yeah,
I mean, if you watch the stream, he obviously does that almost, I want to say, in almost every matchup. It's a great way, if you're actually under attack from your opponent, just to drop 4 infestors with full energy, or however much energy they have. It's only 25 per infested Terran, and they can really chew through a lot of buildings very, very quickly. And those important tech, which he took out a hive, took out the hydrostin, took out 2 evolution chambers with that stuff, basically denying the main base of Sheth. And then from there, he's able just to kind of expand on the map because Sheth was too busy dealing with those drops. So Destiny up now, 1 game over Sheth, and we've been saying this all tournament long. I can't believe this is Destiny now up on all these pros, but I'm starting to think it's not a surprise anymore. It's something that maybe we should expect, Artosis.
Maybe, but you know, his play is a bit stylistic. His early game is a bit weak, as we point out as well. So if Sheth really uses his brain, he should be able to come up with a way to deal with these infestor drops and let his early game really count for more than we saw it count for there.
Yeah, well, let's get to that quick commercial break, guys. When we come back, game 2 between Destiny and Sheth. Can Destiny 2-0 yet another big-name player in the MLG Global Invitational? Find out right after this break.